Out our GMA cover story, and the reason that Jen is here, because as we've been talking about, Demi Lovato is recovering this morning, hospitalized after an apparent overdose. Drug overdoses are becoming an increasing problem here in the U.S., claiming the lives of more than 63,000 people in 2016. And Jen, this is it's not uncommon.
That's right. And this is on our national radar medically, socially, because it is so common. But we have to remember that relapse is really not the exception. It's so common, it's almost the rule. We know that people battling addiction, living with addiction, about 40 to 60% of them will have at least one relapse. And I think the key here is that we need to think of this like what it is, a medical condition. If we have a patient with diabetes and their blood sugar is well controlled for a long time and then all of a sudden becomes poorly controlled, we don't kick them out of the office and say, forget it, you're doomed. That's what we do in medicine. This is a marathon, not a sprint. So when we hear things about relapse, yes, it's sad, yes, it's scary, but it doesn't mean that successful treatment long-term is not possible.
What do we know medically about addiction?
We don't know a lot, but we do know some things. Like many things in medicine, there's a genetic or a familial predisposition. If you have it in your family, you're more likely to be affected by it. It's not your whole destiny, but it plays a role. And then we do know a fair amount about the changes that go on in the brain in people who battle addiction, whether it's a substance or whether it's a behavior. There's a reward center in the brain that releases these chemicals when exposed to that substance. People who become dependent and addicted need more and more of that substance to trigger the same feeling, and that's when you can get into trouble with a lethal overdose, whether it's accidental or intentional. Your brain just needs more and more of the same thing.
Remind us of the treatment options.
More treatment options than ever, and that has to be the message when we hear tragic stories or scary stories like this, whether it's outpatient therapy or inpatient, more intensive rehab, psychotherapy, medication. There are complementary therapies. It's not one size fits all. It's about finding what works for the individual and sticking it out long term. This is something that people have to deal with every single day, like having brown eyes.
Can we reconfirm that, because there's so many people, when it's any other illness, as you said, used diabetes as an example, that it's not them not having willpower or anything like that.
No. I have not met any patient battling addiction in my medical career, and every doctor will see them, not just addiction specialists, who wants to be addicted. So this is something that has nothing to do with commitment, dedication, willpower, a drive to recover or heal. This is something that is medically inside them, no different than cancer, diabetes. So they need our medical support, they need our social support.
All right, Jen, thanks so much.
You bet.
Well, hey there, GMA fans. Robin Roberts here. Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Lots of great stuff here. So go on, click the subscribe button right over here to get more of awesome videos and content from GMA every day, anytime. We thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the morning on GMA.